Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, Dizzy.
So do you think it's possible to make gains on a plant-based diet?
Mission impossible.
Well, I hear there's a lot of people doing that these days.
Yes, it's very trendy.
It is very trendy. I think plant-based is the new keto now.
Yes, probably.
Even though I see people that we are friends with on the Facebook that are still trying out the keto diet.
Well, keto hasn't gone anywhere.
They just keep renaming it. I can't wait to see what it's called next.
Wait, what is it called now?
No, I mean, it used to be the Atkins diet.
Yeah.
Before that, cyclical keto dieting was called the anabolic diet. So you
Okay.
eat no carbs during the week, and then you eat whatever the heck you want on the weekend.
Okay.
Now they call that like 5-2 or something. There's always a gimmick.
Gotcha.
There's always a thing.
Always a gimmick.
Yeah. But hey, everybody, I'm Dizzy.
And I'm Lindsay.
And we're mostly fit, finding the balance between workouts
And weekends.
I am a NASM Certified Personal Trainer and an entertainer and a certified fitness nutrition specialist. So today I'm having fun.
And I am also a NASM Certified Personal Trainer with corrective exercise specialties and sports performance. And I'm also a wife, a mom, and a badass.
That she is. If you want that on a shirt, if you are all three, you got to be all three to get
Yeah.
the shirt. Otherwise, there's a questionnaire. But yeah, if you want to get that shirt or any of the other shirts that you see with that logo on it, or some other variations thereof, if you're watching on video, if you're listening, that didn't make any sense. But look on the podcast
The
icon.
mostly fit.
Yeah, that one, the
Video.
kettlebell and the wine glasses, which we're
Logo.
going to get tattooed soon.
Yes. February 7th.
February 7th is the date.
Yes.
You want those? Go to mostly-fit.com and then click on merch.
Yeah.
Merch.
Merchandise. That's what it stands for.
Yeah, and just in case you didn't know.
Yeah,
Holy
some people
crap,
don't.
that's one break of my rule.
What?
Shortening words.
Oh, merch.
Yeah, because I never do that. I hate fridge. I hate
Fridge.
What is it? What are the other things that I hate? Because I just disregard them.
Like
Photo.
photo.
I can't even use the app on my iPhone because
What
of
about
that.
pic?
That's just weird. Like I think
me a pic.
I think we left that behind though in like 2002.
What do I know?
Well, yeah, 2002. We were just talking about that earlier. But what we were talking about internet from 2001,
yeah,
2000.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier today. But what we're going to be talking about today is plant-based diets because they are all the rage, and we are going to give our review of, or just thoughts, maybe not full review, of the Game Changers documentary that's going on Netflix right now. People are loving it.
Yeah.
I just found out it's been around a little longer than I thought.
2018.
I did not know that because people only started talking about it 2 months ago.
Yeah. Well, when I was searching for it to watch it, I kept looking. I'm like, no, this can't be the right one because
It's always different pictures.
And yeah, they each had a different picture. But it kept saying 2018, and I thought it was, at the end of last year,
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
that
what I
it
thought
became
too.
popular. So I kept thinking it was the wrong one I was watching.
I guess that's inspirational though. Something that's
kept-
been around
yeah.
that long, like us.
Yeah.
Like once we're around for a little while, people just start noticing and this
Yeah,
is new.
go
It's
back.
not new.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after that review and our thoughts and notes on the matter, I even brought notes.
Ooh.
That's right. For you listeners out there. After that, we are going to give the takeaways that you can use if you're considering or not considering or all the above.
Yeah.
But there's another prop that I have today because we were just talking about it last week before we get into it.
Oh.
We've got our book. It's a thin book, but there's so much information in it.
Yeah.
It's 31 pages?
Something like that.
30 with notes is what 31 with notes.
Notes.
27 if you get the digital edition, but we also have a paperback version here, and this goes right along with the topic today because right in the middle we have types of diets.
Yes.
And just a little rundown of what's in the complete guide to being fit.
Mostly.
It's her part.
Mostly.
What is in that is everything you need if you are starting a fitness and nutrition and healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Or if you're getting back into it and you've been discouraged for years because there's this thing and that thing. We take it all back to basics.
Yeah, so nothing's too sciencey.
Yeah.
So you can understand it.
There's no gimmicks, no tricks. And you can apply this to any of the diets and lifestyles that you want to pursue yourself.
And then we even have, which I find very useful, just a section where it has a sample of a workout.
This is for beginners, but it's also what we would consider at the National Academy of Sports Medicine Phase 1.
Phase 1. So even if you're more experienced, you can always go back and follow this.
And you're doing that right now.
I am.
Because I forced you to.
And we also have a sample day of eating as well.
And that is just beneficial for everybody. Because some people, if you're new to meal prepping or being healthy at all, you're like, well, I try to blah, 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 and I try to eat a lot of blah, 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 blah. Well, that helps you break down what that is supposed to look like, and you can interchange the food choices and all that.
Yes.
So let's get into this. Plant-based lifestyle.
Yeah.
So one time in 2018, because I document everything by year, we both tried it.
Yeah.
But you had a shorter experience.
I said I was going to go vegetarian for a week.
Yeah, we did this at the same time. And I said, I kind of want to try it out. And I just kept going.
Yeah, I stopped at a week.
So you should, So I want to get your experiences from that week and what made it only last a week.
Okay. Well, it only lasted a week because I said I was only going to do it for a week.
Oh.
So
what made you not want to keep it up then? At the time, 2018?
No, I don't think there was any specific reason. I think it was just like in my mind, I was like, I'm just going to go vegetarian for a week. And that's what I had in my head. So that's where I stopped. There was a natural stopping point, and then that's where I stopped. Obviously, it's a lot. For me, preparation and planning came into that a lot because it's harder to think about what you're eating when you're not eating meat or animals.
Because the basics of how we have always meal prepped is always what animal goes in here, what grain goes in here, and perhaps a vegetable.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't track when I was doing that, so I don't know how much protein I was really getting. I don't know how much carbs I was getting. I ate a lot of Chipotle.
You said it. She did it. She said Chipotle.
I was wondering if he was going to
Great work.
But yeah, I ate a lot of Chipotle.
Well, yeah, because they got the beans and the rice.
I was like, give me a bean burrito, bro.
That seems to be a very common thing. People are eating a lot of burritos in this plant-based world.
Yes.
I guess it's because you can fit everything in one convenient portable package.
It's like a sandwich.
Yeah. It's a sandwich, but a floppy one.
Yeah. But it's kind of like a taco.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about tacos.
For all this taco talk, I rarely see you eating them.
Yeah, because I can't just eat tacos.
I used to do it all the time,
I
actually.
eat like 20 tacos. So why am I going to, tempt myself with just
dangerous.
one? When I do plant-based, maybe I'll eat more tacos.
It could happen.
But I'm going to want like whole grain wraps. I'm not going to want like flour tortillas.
Yeah, flour, corn. Corn, I think, is okay. I'm going to have to look into it more.
Yeah, it's just...
Because it is just cornmeal.
Yeah.
But I used to eat tacos and, not as much burritos, but tacos all the time back in my early adult life when I was first jumping into being a fitness dude.
Yeah, was it the Taco Bell diet?
Well, I did eat Taco Bell, but I did not eat the Taco Bell diet. The little fresco menu. Yeah. That's basically the fresco menu is like, we got your meat, we got your vegetable, and we don't cook it in a bunch of garbage and sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, tacos aren't unhealthy.
Yeah, they're not. That's why I used to eat them all the time.
Depending on what you cook them in. And how much of them you eat.
Yeah, eat the right, if you're still eating the meats, eat the right type of beef and whatnot. Or if you choose chicken, make sure you look at your labels.
Yeah, maybe don't go to Hudson Taco for anybody who's in the Dutchess County or Newburgh area.
But
eat
definitely.
The Southern barbecue and or the Korean barbecue, the short ribs and...
What are we doing this Friday?
Going to Hudson Taco.
Wait.
Is that what we're doing?
Or February 7th.
Oh, for
which
sure.
is a Friday.
That was already happening in my mind.
Yes. Just have to
no
be good
getting
on
out of
that
that.
Sunday because it seems like Sunday has become my natural cheat.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to have to start thinking that way. So your meal prepping was different.
Yeah.
And what about like during the week? I know it was a year and change ago, but did you have any experiences with like your energy change, or if you were more hungry or less hungry?
Definitely wasn't more or less hungry. I feel like it was pretty consistent to how I normally was. I don't remember having like so much more energy or not. I don't remember losing. I mean, I only did it for a week, so I mean, I'm not probably
I didn't
like
expect a lot of weight loss.
Yeah, the best person to ask.
No, I mean, you would have the transitional phase, like what people are going to feel when they start it.
Yeah, I did run a Spartan race.
Like during that time?
Yeah, in that week, because I remember I ran Boston. I was a super.
Oh,
and
so much traveling.
We always go and get burgers afterwards. And I was doing no meat, so I was like, well, what am I going to eat? And
those black bean burgers are good.
So, well, I didn't wind up getting that. I think I got like a lobster roll or something because we were in Massachusetts. So it just made more sense.
When in Rome,
yeah,
eat pizza.
But that wasn't even like vegetarian. I mean, that was pescatarian.
Whatever. That's not even a fish. That's a crustacean.
Whatever.
It's a little spider that crawls on the ocean floor.
Ew. I love lobster. Don't call it a spider.
That's what it is. No, a spider's more like a cockroach, and then a crab is more like a spider.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking stupid.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, sorry, because
They're
now
basically the same
that
thing.
brought me back. Remembering that I ran a Spartan race that week brought me back to like energy levels because I remember how I felt during that Spartan race.
That's worth thinking about because you've had a lot of Spartan experiences.
Yeah, and I remember it was the first time we did Boston, and it was super, super muddy, like extra muddy. Like Spartan races are already muddy, but this was like I didn't know there was that many types of mud. It was like whipped mud, and then it looked like it looked like whipped cream, but like so it was whipped mud, and then it was like like mud with rocks and stuff, and then there was like it might have been poop mud.
It could have been.
It was on a dairy farm, so I mean, chances are it was.
Ew.
But anyway, it was a lot of mud, and I just remember being able to like maneuver it so well and feeling great, and like I was with people who weren't wearing the proper foot attire, so I had to slow down for them. But because the mud got the best of them. But I felt great.
See, that's a good anecdotal evidence.
Yes.
Did Melissa influence this in any way? Lindsay has a friend named Melissa.
No.
Oh, because she's one of those Vegemites.
Pescatarian, yeah. And she hasn't influenced it.
Oh, I didn't know if like at the time.
No, I don't know what.
I remember like going out places with the group, and she's in the group, and she's mentioning things and whatnot.
Yeah.
She was talking about how her car seats didn't have leather in them.
Yeah, she does it more for ethical reasons than diet reasons.
I have no ethics when it comes to what we use animals for, so send me your hates.
I think what actually started it was sometimes I have this weird thing that happens to me, like if I'm eating like a roasted chicken. Kind of looks like
and you
a
can
chicken.
see
and
all of the parts.
All of a sudden, I'm like, I see the chicken, and then I feel bad.
Oh.
And then I get sad, and I don't want to eat it.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'll eat the neck.
So
I'll eat the tail.
I think I started feeling like the energy of the animals through my food, and then it made me sad. So then I was like, I'm just not going to eat meat for a week and see how I feel.
Cool. But you went right back to eating meat.
And then I went right back to eating meat.
So it wasn't that important.
No.
So I actually I had a different experience because when she said she was going to do it, I also said, I think I'll give it a try. And I stuck with it because at the same time, I watched the popular documentary that was going on in 2017, 2018, What the Health. Mm-hmm. And I thought there was some interesting facts in that. Some of it I just kind of disregarded, but some things, which I've now since gone back on a bit, even though now that I think about it, I think I should go back on that a little bit because they were talking about what happens in like your milk and your cheese.
Okay.
And there's milk in this coffee right now, and it kind of grosses me out now that I think about it.
I drink my coffee black.
I don't eat that much pork. There was a lot of gross stuff in the pork because I've been on a hog farm, and the things that go on in a hog farm are disgusting. Like, these things will live amongst their dead peers. Like if a pig falls over and just dead, it'll rot there for a couple of days. Like,
oh my God.
Depending on the farm, I guess. But most farms smell the same, look the same. And then, like, if the pig has like a cancerous boil or something, and it just freaking drain. Pigs actually have an outlet on them, which is why the Hebrews in the wilderness were forbidden to eat them, because they were in the stinking wilderness, and there was no cleaning that. It's gross. They have an outlet, like it's either on the elbow or at the end of the hoof thing, where it drains pus.
Ew.
It's just part of how it's designed. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, if you have that much in you, ew. Just ew.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah. Yeah. If this burn was doing that, I wouldn't go around people for a while. With milk and cheese, and this is the What the Health documentary. You can prove or disprove or whatever. I only know it from that, and I didn't care to look into it any further. But I was like, maybe I should just not take the chances.
Yeah.
There's
like
a certain
the pus and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
there's a certain amount of pus that is allowed to be in the milk. Just like there's a certain amount of rat turd that's allowed to be in candy and peanut
or like
butter.
at restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, like the health department's like, all right, this is an acceptable amount of house droppings.
Oh, yeah, and
It's New York City.
And there was there's plenty there.
They can't do anything about it.
But in the there's also like studies of how much estrogen is in the milk because of where it comes from. It comes out of a cow's boob.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's highly estrogen filled anyway, and then and you get the milk. And I do agree that we are the only being on Earth that takes the milk of another being.
Yeah.
Everything else, and I do find that kind of weird.
What do you mean? Oh,
there's no other animal, no other mammal. I don't classify us as mammals.
Like a cow wouldn't drink my milk.
Yeah, but not even that. Like a bear isn't gonna take a deer's milk.
Yeah.
Like in the woods. It'll eat the freaking deer, but it's not going to take the deer's milk.
Yeah.
Like, they stick to their own, and then they stop when they stop nursing.
Okay.
Only people do that. I don't know why that is. It might be a special design thing, or it might just be a weird thing we do.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? I don't really know.
We're the only animal that can't walk when we're born.
That's because we're not animals.
For
a different thing. Again, at the Dizzy Parker for all your hate. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the above. Send it right my way.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all actually part of it, because that's going to go into the documentary too. That's one of my disagreements, because surprise, surprise, I disagree with a lot of things.
Yeah.
There are things I agree with, but there's a lot that I disagree with. But I do want to just tell everybody, for 8 or 9 months, I actually kept up a almost completely vegetarian lifestyle. Not completely vegan. Like, once in a while, I had a little eggs, and I had some cheese, and then as I started tripping up later and later, like, I'd go out and I'm like, I really want some chicken in this salad.
Yeah.
But that was later on. For a long time, I kept it up completely. And
How long did you last?
It's like probably 6 months completely meat free.
Okay.
And then I started just wanting stuff. Okay. And the other thing that started to change in me, I had a few experiences. Then we'll get into the movie. Had a few experiences. One was I was starting to allow things into my diet because they gave you the excuse in the movie in What the Health that you weren't retaining water as much. No, that wasn't in the documentary. I'm sorry. I was looking up other information, and there were YouTubers like, I never retain water anymore.
Yeah.
Now that I don't eat meat, and there could be other factors to that. So, but I experienced that. At the same time, my sodium was down too, so that could be a factor. I didn't retain water. My face was nice and slim, and even when I ate a lot of food, I noticed that I didn't get like bubbly,
like bloated or anything.
So I started giving myself the excuse like I'll have some Lenny and Larry's, or I'll eat extra peanut butter rice cakes or whatever, and I ended up gaining weight doing that because I started giving myself the excuse because my mindset was still the same mindset that I live with, which is I want more food. That's just me. The other thing that I experienced was other people were saying that their strength didn't go down, and people are setting records, which we're going to get into, but my strength level did go down.
Okay.
Like, I was not able to lift the same weights, and I was working out exactly the same. Like over a couple of months, I noticed like my muscles started to deteriorate a little bit.
So were you counting like your protein and like
how much
you were getting?
But I was going on what the documentaries were saying and what these other athletes were saying, that you don't need as much protein as you think you do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call BS on that right now. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
If you want to maintain the same level of strength and hypertrophy, you still need the amount of protein that you needed to build it and maintain it.
Okay.
If it goes down, your body is going to feed on your protein. And if you notice, if people have been on some kind of vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, plant-based, after a while you start to watch their muscles deteriorate. Not like extremely, but if they were big at one point, they're losing size over the years.
Yeah.
And part of that could be they don't care, so it doesn't matter as much to them. But scientifically speaking, I still witness it because I keep track of a lot of people. And it happened to me. Like I started to feel my muscles not working as well, and they weren't as big.
All right, well, then I take somebody like Melissa, though, who has been a vegetarian or a pescatarian for the majority of the time that I've known her. Yes, she eats fish, so I guess that's probably where the majority of her protein does come from. But, like, she is strong, and she doesn't have problem developing muscle.
Well, I would test that, because what was she like before?
I trained her, so I know.
Was she vegetarian the whole time?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, before she transitioned, like it's hard to do that experiment. And you could always do a test.
Well, like she was overweight and, not that healthy. And then I started training her, and then she started developing more muscle and losing weight. And all the while, I've run all the Spartan races with her. She's done like half marathons with me. And she's, I would say, just as strong.
And the only way to know for sure is to know how many protein grams she's getting in. Otherwise, it's like you can't scientifically say one way or the other.
Yeah.
I just know from my experience when I was tracking, that's what happened to me.
Yeah. But again, like I said, she does eat fish. So I think that is a little bit different because the plant-based diet, if you're following it completely plant-based, you're not eating
Yeah, because they don't want to kill any animals.
Yeah, and you're not eating any... It's like kind of vegan.
Well, it is vegan, 100%.
It's not called vegan. It's called plant-based.
Like I said, there's a new name for everything. They don't want to take dairy products. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have eggs, which doesn't actually involve the death of an animal. Yeah. And they don't want to kill fish.
But yeah, they won't even eat honey.
See, that's stupid.
Because honey comes from a bee.
Yeah, but bees make honey, and I would argue that honey is made for us. What are they doing with it? They're not even doing anything with it.
Did you ever watch the bee movie? With Jerry Seinfeld.
They pollinate, but making honey is a byproduct of all that. Yeah. And my best friend, Matt, you're never going to see this or hear it, but Matt, he is a bee farmer. He owns an apiary. Oh. Actually, he might own more than one now.
I know a bee farmer. He made me honey all the time.
Yeah, and if you ask, he'll tell you the whole story of like what happens and what they do and how they organize their whole community. The honey's just a byproduct.
No, I know.
That's why I say that's just dumb. That's just being overly sensitive. The same people that are like, oh, I don't want to step on an ant. You know what? That ant was going to die tomorrow anyway. Leave it alone.
I know people who are like that, where like they're saving like every little living species.
Yeah, and that's silly.
I mean, I get it.
Go out in nature. They will kill themselves.
But like
And
if
each
there
other.
is a spider in my bed, I'm freaking killing it. Because I don't want it to bite me.
But if there's a spider up there in the corner, I'll leave it because I don't like flies.
Yeah, I'll leave if it's not bothering me. But if it's
But if it's in the bed,
my
he's gotta go.
Yeah, like get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But if my mom likes to watch them make their webs, so she keeps like really scary spiders.
Oh,
Like she
wow.
won't like she'll have like crazy webs outside of her house,
Oh.
and that she could easily just take down. But like she loves watching it, so she like keeps it there, and
That's
it's like
cool.
creepy.
That's like people that like pottery on their countertops.
She was like, "Isn't this an amazing web?" And I was like, "It's disgusting. You need to get rid of it."
It came out of a spider's butt.
Like, I'm like, it is pretty, but like that spider's ugly. Like, get it out of here.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's do this. All right. So the movie, The Game Changers, with all of its various title cards that
Yes.
look completely different.
You should have. I was like texting him. I was like, "Is it this one? Is it this one?" Like they had
All the answers are
they
yes.
had like 5 different.
There was a bodybuilder
was a-
arm. There was a
yeah.
runner chick. There
was like 2 of the plasma bloods.
Oh, yeah, that
yeah.
one,
There
too.
was that one.
Oh boy, I can't
There
wait to
was
get
so
into
many.
that part.
I find all of it very interesting.
I found it interesting, but okay. So I got my notes here. We're going straight up to the notes.
Okay,
You got your phone on you?
it's in my book.
Hit 26 minutes on that there.
Okay.
All right. So we've got the Game Changers. I took lots of notes actually.
Did you?
Oh yeah. There's 2.5 pages here.
Oh God.
Well, I'm going to bring it all up so we can talk about it. I'll just use it to remind you of things. All right. So, Game Changers, if you haven't seen it, I do recommend watching it to educate yourself. But the narrator and the guy that funded the whole thing's name is James Wilkes. He is a combat expert. He's got 15 black belts.
Yeah.
And he decided to go through this because he tore ligaments in both knees.
Yes.
And he wanted the best, most efficient way to repair himself. So he looked into it. The first thing that comes up in this, which I want to just dig,
Let's
the
go.
Gladiator study. What did you
Okay.
think when they were talking about the Gladiator study?
About the gladiators having mostly plant-based diets.
Yeah, they said that the Roman gladiators were the prize fighters of their day.
Yeah.
And they had a nickname, which I even wrote down, Hordeari,
Yeah.
which means bean and barley eater.
Yeah.
What came to your mind when you saw that?
Honestly, I'm nothing. I was just like interesting.
Okay.
I didn't have any like other thoughts. I didn't have like a that's bull crap or that's amazing. I was just like, oh, all right.
So what they did were they were trying to show the gladiators as the fighters.
Yeah.
And there's one dude with his Roman helmet and he's against a lion and rah.
Yeah.
You know how the gladiators became gladiators?
Yeah.
They're prisoners of war. They're not
Okay.
prize figers. Gladiators
I
were
thought
sent
about,
into
like,
the arena
Wonder-
to die.
I thought about like Wonder Woman.
Well, her outfit is inspired by gladiators.
Yeah, but I just thought like Wonder Woman
And
they're
actually
fighters
soldiers
and they're
too.
Trained.
I mean, that's how her thing. But they were sent into the arena to die. They were
See,
expendable.
I didn't know that about gladiators.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought
and
they
that's the documentary. They
Okay.
expect you not to get it.
Okay.
Because if you notice, there's not a lot of numbers. There's not a lot of real
Statistics,
informations. That's what I said. There's not a lot of real information. There's a lot of numbers. There's not a lot of numbers. There's a lot of picture.
Yeah.
Because it's just meant to spark an emotional thing.
Yeah.
Like you're like, ooh, fighters. Ooh, they ate beans and barley and their muscles were dense. Well, if they were prisoners of war, they were captured, and just like we do with our prisoners here in the United States,
Yeah.
we give them the cheapest diet possible.
Yes.
Meat, especially during that time, was a commodity.
All right. See, I didn't know they were prisoners. Maybe you guys didn't know they were prisoners either.
Now you know.
But now you know.
So meat was a commodity. They were given the cheapest food. So yeah, they were a majority plant-based people because that's all they were going to get.
Yeah.
Hordeari, it was an insult.
Okay.
I looked it up. It was an insult.
All right.
It's like saying ramen noodle guy.
Okay.
So people that eat ramen noodles are usually in college. They're
Yeah.
spending their money on other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Okay.
And they don't spend a lot of time on that, but they use it to spark your emotions right at the beginning. And then the Conor McGregor fight, which is the next thing. And they intersperse this stuff throughout the documentary. We talked about this one earlier.
We did.
So they're trying to compare gladiators, and Conor McGregor, little big mouth of the MMA world, fighting Nate Diaz. I am not an MMA fan, but I'm familiar with names.
Okay.
And I know his tactics, which is run his mouth, which is what they were showing in the documentary.
Yeah, he was. He was like, "You filthy bean and barley eater," or whatever that word is. Yeah. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, and then he lost the fight.
Yeah.
So later on, they say, I changed my diet to eating 2 steaks a day. What they don't tell you in the documentary is that Conor McGregor was going up in weight class. So that's why he lost the fight. Yes, he was eating 2 steaks a day to try to gain weight. But you've gained weight in your life.
I have.
I've gained weight in my life.
Everything's harder.
It is the worst. Like walking upstairs is a little hard.
Yeah, everything is harder.
So obviously he lost an endurance fight when he's trying to put on weight. He was actually fighting in the next weight class.
Yeah.
Which he's used to. What I do know, he's used to fighting in the 140 blah 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 weight
So
class.
he was
and
probably
went up.
slower than he's used to. Because
Yeah.
like your arm is heavier.
Yeah,
You can't punch as easy or like and get
Watch the YouTube version of this.
This is me fighting.
I miss boxing.
We even Bob.
Yowzers! That was almost a travesty.
It's okay.
So he lost the fight because he was eating 2 steaks a day. No, he lost the fight because he was heavier.
Yeah.
And these are just things that I'm showing that are documentaries are always one-sided. Mm-hmm. There's never a balanced documentary. You got to find the other documentary.
The one they had all these things I saw debunked.
Yeah.
Like the Game Changers debunked.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I didn't watch them, but I saw.
Yeah, it's worth watching both sides of arguments like that. And let's see here. So then we go to the marathon guy, Scott Jurek, who was running the Appalachian
Ultra,
Trail. Yeah, he ran. What were those marathons?
Oh my gosh! It was basically 2
figured that
marathons a
sparked
day.
something in you.
Yeah, it was 2 marathons a day.
Wow.
In 36 days.
What's that? 52.24 miles.
Like the whole. Basically, they said like for an average person trying to run the trail, like they do it in 5 months. And
he was trying to set the record.
He was trying to set the world record, which was 43 days, and I think he did it in 36.
Oh, that's insane.
Which I thought was crazy. Because, like, why?
Yeah.
Because why?
Why do you want to do this?
But, no, yeah, I mean, I thought that was super interesting, but I didn't really, as far as the whole plant-based thing for, like, runners and stuff, I feel like it's a little different.
Because there's a lot of endurance athletes they show.
Yeah, so it's mostly endurance athletes that they're showing, which it's like, yeah, the more carbs you have,
Thank you.
more
I'm glad
energy
you said it.
you're going to have to do it. We don't need as much protein when we're trying to do long distance and time. We need more carbs.
Yeah, you need fuel.
So that's what you're getting. So I don't think that like using all these endurance athletes
Yeah, you remember
really made that big of an impact on me as far as like, for me, yes, because it's like I'm about to run another marathon. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like this might be something I want to try.
And the other part of that is where they're showing old studies talking about meat gives you fuel for muscles, and that was completely whatever. They disproved it.
Disproved it.
Yeah. Well, duh.
Yeah.
We, especially me, certified fitness nutrition specialist, I know that. And if just because there was a scientist, I didn't write his name down, but
that guy.
Yeah, that scientist guy.
That scientist guy.
Just because he came up with a theory, and he probably himself proposed that maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. I didn't read the book. He came up with a theory, and it was proven wrong. Science.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that just because you're eating meat that it is bad for endurance.
No, what I did find interesting, and whether or not, like, I guess I'd have to look more into it, but how plant-based got more oxygen to your muscles opposed to
Oh, you
eating
mean
meat.
the endothelial function?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to get to that
So
too,
I
because
thought
the whole
that was
study that goes with it.
Yeah.
Let's see, just before we get to that part,
Football
you know what? Yeah, I'll flip back to it because it doesn't matter that it's in order. I'd rather go in the order of subject rather than the order of the thing. So the endothelial function, which is the membrane that allows your blood vessels to contract and expand. They did the test with football players.
Yes.
And they fed them burritos, which is why the burrito thing, they just kept popping up, and they popped up in
tacos.
What you said.
That's what I need to
I'm
eat.
down with some Mexican food for
let's
sure.
do it.
I love beans. I love avocado. You can't have avocado because you'll die on the spot. Just in case anybody needs to know.
If you want to kill me,
Yeah.
feed me avocados.
Yeah, that's how it works. Then rice, and then the wrap, which I found interesting. If you notice, they use white flour tortillas.
Yes.
Interesting. Just throwing that out there. What they showed was that meat can cause inflammation, and I don't have a problem with that thought. Because if the science shows that meat can cause inflammation, I would ask, because they weren't super clear. Was it just the meat in the day, or was it meat in the meal before the performance?
Okay.
That would be the question I would ask to that.
Well, they had basically done that same study, right? Where like day one, two people
the
got
blood plasma
meat.
test.
Yeah, 2 people got meat, and 1 person didn't. And then the second day, they all didn't get meat. And the blood from each day.
Yeah, they're
different.
also.
So it was like in a day, their blood changed.
I don't recall if they said when they took the blood test in conjunction with the meal. But even if it's
it was
in with
right after.
Yeah, if it's within like 6 hours, like if they had done it the next morning, I would say,
like?
whoa.
Yeah.
But they did it the same day. And what we know about digestion is that the gastric emptying time is between, if it's simply carbohydrates, it empties very fast, 1 hour usually. And then as you add protein, it goes up to around 3 hours. As you add fat, the full gastric emptying time is within 5 to 6 hours. But even within 5 to 6 hours, as soon as that starts happening, it's broken down by your digestive enzymes in your stomach, and then it goes into your bloodstream from your digestive tract. So yes, you have fat molecules floating around your bloodstream.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything to me there.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it's there, but there was the case of the avocado. So I would say there was avocado in the one, but there was I think it was pork and beef or chicken. I don't remember. But you have fat. There are different kinds of fat. So you have shorter chain triglycerides from, I'm getting sciencey on you. You have shorter chain triglycerides floating around your bloodstream. So yes, it's going to be cloudier, which is why more plant-based fats are better for your blood flow, your heart function.
Yeah. Because
they form a coating around your blood vessels that basically forms a lubricating effect that allows the blood to go through better, more efficiently.
Which is also why, just to like go back to the beginning, why when you're on keto, you want to eat more of these fats. And not
bacon and cheese are not the best option. Which is why in our book, I say you need to focus on the truth of how digestion and nutrition work rather than what kind of diet style you're doing.
Yeah.
Like they can be allowed because they can be helpful because you will break down the fat more efficiently if you're on a keto diet. But at the same time, are you picking your sources wisely?
Yeah.
And you should always pick your sources wisely. Not just, I like this, so I can eat it. I can eat cheese wrapped in bacon.
I mean, it sounds fantastic.
I mean, I'll have some, sure. We all know I like junk food. But I'm just talking about not what I like, but what scientific facts tell tell you. So they didn't impress me very much with the blood test.
All right, that's what impressed me.
Yeah, that's done as a shock tactic more than anything, because that's going to happen no matter what. I would almost be willing to bet, if plant-based guy had a meal that had peanuts in it, which have more saturated fats, that his blood plasma would also be cloudy.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
We should do our own test.
Good Lord. I bet it would be expensive.
Your blood.
Can I just have your blood? And just put it in a vial?
We can get Brittany. She's a phlebotomist.
Which Brittany is it? Oh, our old friend Brittany from the gym. Got it. Yeah, she's got that new job. Congratulations, Brittany. You'll also never hear this.
Yeah.
I love all these people that we shout out that don't listen.
People do listen, though.
Just so if you want to be shouted out, leave comments on YouTube and Facebook and whatnot.
All right, what's next?
So let's go to, we talked about the endurance people, football players and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about all this fun anecdotal stuff that comes in.
Okay.
I'm using my big words today. I feel very, very inspired to speak, because I get to talk about the things I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
I have fun with nutrition because it's something that can be proven.
Yeah.
And it's also something I can disagree with so much, and you can't really tell me I'm wrong because I have paperwork. It's so fun. I'm like, I don't care how you feel. Bam!
But then I'm sure there's another piece of paper somewhere that says something differently.
Well, that's going to come up. That's going to come up in our wrap up too, because there's that was in the documentary, and that was one of the things that I check. Yes, I agree, 100%. But let's go with the strength athletes.
Okay.
So we had Kendrick Ferris, who was, I believe, he was Olympic. I think he was doing Olympic lifts. That was the black dude with the dreadlocks.
Oh, okay.
I believe that he was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't remember his placement. I apologize. I didn't bother writing all those numbers.
I feel
and
like he wasn't in
information
it that much.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Because he didn't quite have as much to say. He placed like fifth, so you know when people place fifth in things, they don't ask him many questions. They're like, "Oh, you did something good. Cool. Bye."
Gotcha.
But he said as soon as he transitioned to a plant-based diet, all his health markers went down.
Yeah.
One thing I will say from knowing people that do powerlifting and studying all the aspects of strength is that the people that do powerlifting and World's Strongest Man competitions, they don't usually have the cleanest diets. They just care about calories.
Yeah.
That's why these dudes are a lot of time very fat.
Yeah.
Because they're like freaking eating Oreos and cheeseburgers. Obviously, your health markers go down.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we don't have that information about him.
No.
We didn't get anything either direction. But Patrick Baboumian.
Is that the
Baboumian,
Russian guy?
Yeah.
Russian?
I think he was more. I saw some umlauts above the letters on his shirt, so I think he's somewhere in the more Eastern European area.
Gotcha.
Baboumian.
All right.
Might be Bulgarian for all I know.
Yeah.
I missed all that. But he had a quote in the movie that
I loved it.
I'm going to tear it apart. Though.
I loved it.
I'm going to tear it apart. You ready? Okay. People ask him, how could you get as strong as an ox without eating meat? And he responds, how does he respond? Because you loved it.
I did. Have you ever seen an ox eat meat?
All right. Have you ever seen a gorilla? Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have seen a gorilla eat other freaking apes and stuff. They do that stuff. They'll hunt people.
But not as their diet.
But yeah, their main diet is bamboo. Oxes eat grass. Here's what I have to say about that. Body chemistry. Their body chemistry is designed to do that.
Okay.
And when it comes to the essential amino acids, I'm not going to pretend to know how they produce the amino acids and which ones are essential for them. But there are essential amino acids for us that we have to take in. And our bodies don't convert grass. But even if we're eating plants, we have to eat a diverse type of plant-based diet to get everything that we need because of how our body chemistry works. An ox literally eats grass. That's all they freaking eat. Grass.
Okay.
But it's used to sensationalize things.
Yeah, but it did make sense. Like when you think about...
Yeah, same with gorillas, which is what the other dude says.
all of these animals, that don't eat meat, and they are super strong.
But they're designed to do. They have 4
Yeah.
stomachs.
Yeah.
We don't have 4
But
stomachs.
then another thing, and I don't know if this is somewhere else in your notes, because I didn't look at your notes
It could
before
be.
we started.
Yeah, 'cause
But-
I said save all this conversation. We might have a very long podcast, and if we do, I hope you enjoy it.
But I thought of like what they said were like, oh, when we're eating cows, what do cows eat?
Okay, yeah, I did do a thing for that.
Okay, yeah. So all the cows and animals that we eat, all they eat is plant-based stuff.
That's
So
true.
really, everything we're getting, all that protein we are getting, is still from the plant-based.
So they
diet.
use the term that twice, I think, maybe even 3 times, that the animals are just the middlemen.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, let's turn that into consumerism, like a store.
Okay.
Say you want Adidas shoes. Mm-hmm. Adidas shoes are made in the Adidas factory. Mm-hmm. Do you have access to the Adidas factory?
Maybe.
As a general consumer. No, you gotta either go to somehow those shoes have to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
Be it through the truck through the store, or just you have them shipped directly via the website, but you cannot go to the warehouse and buy the freaking shoe.
No.
You got to have some kind of middleman.
Mm-hmm.
Same with dietary things. I argue that those animals are the necessary middlemen because of how their chemistry works. When they eat the stinking grass, and I mean only grass, you can eat as much grass as you want to. You're not going to get that much out of it.
Yeah.
But, and these animals forage all day.
Yeah.
To get
graze.
this, that's and then they re-eat it. That's what cud is. Sounds like a gross word, but that's what the 4 stomachs are for.
Okay.
They ferment all this stuff. They puke it up, then they eat it again, and then it goes to a different stomach, and then a different stomach, and then the fermentation process is what builds their muscles. That doesn't happen with us. We have one stomach, and we have a long intestine and a short intestine, a large intestine, and a small intestine.
The more you talk, the more I want to eat plant-based. You know how animals
weird.
eat their throw up?
Oh, well, yeah. They also, did you know animals poop?
Yeah.
They poop
and then
on the
you're
ground.
talking about the pig.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Can't.
That's why I don't eat a lot of pork in general. Like, unless bacon just happens to come on something, I don't eat a lot of pork for that reason, because it's nasty. Like, you ain't gonna catch me with pork chops in my diet. And yeah,
Didn't you make pulled pork once for us?
I did not. I was talking about it, but I never got to do it.
Yes, you did.
I didn't have the pork. I never did that.
You didn't do it for the.
Oh no! What I did was I made the barbecue sauce.
Then who made the pork?
Somebody at the Christmas thing at work.
Okay.
I just made the barbecue sauce.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what it was. Or did I even get to do it?
No, you did.
Because that year I brought pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, but you were also doing it at my house because you lived here.
But I made the pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
Either way, I didn't make the pork part. I'll tell you that much.
Please
But
remind
once
me
again,
to
it's a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Occasion,
Maybe I made the pulled pork.
maybe, and I made the and
Yeah.
you made the barbecue sauce.
No, I 100% made the pulled pork.
I just sent you the recipe for the barbecue sauce.
So I did it. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't think I made the stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I knew I
Yes,
made pigs
I
in a
was
blanket.
the one. But we were living together.
Yeah.
So
It happened
that's
in
why
your
I got
house.
confused. Okay.
But so the animals have the chemistry. They are uniquely designed to transition grass into muscles that we then eat to get the B12, which is the next piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Because they were talking about most people
yeah,
are B12
well,
deficient.
deficient.
Yeah, but it's because you eat stinking McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's why. You go to an athlete. And just in case you're wondering, the function of vitamin B12, I think you know. You know?
I mean, skin, hair.
No, that's different. That's like B6.
Oh.
Mm,
What's B12? That's just
B12
like
converts your
whole-
carbohydrates into energy.
Oh, I was going to say like all the aches and pains and stuff too. That can be like ailments.
I think that's more in the mineral department.
Well,
But
I don't know.
But B12, its unique function is to convert your carbohydrates to energy.
Okay.
So if you're B12 deficient and eating all these plants, you ain't getting very much energy out of them. So the only way to get B12 is from animal sources. The documentary would have you believe that the only way to have the right amount of B12 is to supplement.
Yeah.
That's not true.
But most people are deficient.
Yeah, because most people have crap diets in general, plant-based or animal-based. So once again, that's another thing that I will go in that's good information, but I don't think that it's only for this reason.
Okay.
And I do think most people are B12 deficient.
I think so too. I thought like with the energy, like I was thinking like when you're low in energy and you're all like everything hurts and I don't want to do anything.
I mean, if you're a supplementer, I would say that taking a B complex is just generally good all around because we need our B vitamins that we can only get from animal sources.
I have a B vitamin that I don't take.
Yeah, take it. That's the answer to that one. Take it. Take it. Let's see here. Okay, so this is where I wanted to go with. I mentioned that before. So we were talking about the blood flow and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's another piece of that they mentioned.
Yeah.
The heme iron. Look, that goes into the chemical level of nutrition, and I'm not there, and I'm not going to pretend to be there. But they were talking about reducing the risk of heart disease.
Oh yeah.
And even reversing heart disease.
So, what I found interesting about that was my mother-in-law, because she had type 1 or type 2 diabetes.
Did she have it from
when you get fat?
Type 2.
Okay, type 2.
That's the kind you give yourself.
Yeah. So she had type 2 diabetes, and my niece has type 1, so I keep getting confused. And she went on a raw vegan diet.
What was she eating before that?
Whatever she wanted.
Exactly my point.
But I remember her telling me that she was doing this raw vegan diet, and I was like, it's freaking bullshit. And I remember having a lot of conversations with her about how, like, she's not doing herself any favors because, like, she's not going to be doing it forever.
Yeah, it's so extreme.
It's so extreme and blah, blah, blah. But she did prove me wrong because she did reverse it, and she no longer has to take any medications for type 2 diabetes. She basically does not have it anymore.
Well, I'm
sure she's still at risk for it, like, coming back if she just went back to her old lifestyles.
Yeah,
but
that's one of my arguments that yes, you can dietarily fix these problems. I don't think there's one solution to any of it.
No.
Because look at the firefighters that are in that study. You know any firefighters?
I mean, yeah, I've known firefighters.
You know the kind of lifestyle most firefighters have?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my brother is one of them, and my stepdad was one, and
they're hanging out in a firehouse, drinking beer and eating.
Yeah, and eating chicken wings and burgers and all kinds of stuff.
It's like a boys' club.
Like, yeah, exactly. It is. That's why my brother likes it, because
especially
that's
the
where
volunteer
he feels,
ones.
You
know.
Shout out to my brother for getting a promotion. He does listen.
Okay.
He got a promotion in the fire department. Good job.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a boys' club. They do what boys do, and they eat junky foods and cheese fries and stuff. And you saw the guys, and yes, I'm judging a book by its cover. No offense, but what you do to your body shows up on the outside.
Yeah.
You saw the guys that were in the fire department.
Yeah.
Not many of them look too healthy.
No.
And so, yes, you've got bad blood markers, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and then you transition to healthy only plant-based food, where you're getting all the magnesium and potassium and folate and B vitamins and everything that you need. Suddenly, you feel better.
Yeah.
All of your indicators go down. Yep. That had nothing to do with meat.
Yeah.
That's my argument.
It's like a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, you just got healthy real quick. So that would be another one of my arguments.
Okay.
Okay, but I do agree if that your risk of heart disease is increased by eating certain meat sources. They even said like fish, which I'm shocked by.
Yeah.
I would argue this, though, because right after that, they were saying these plants have these antioxidant properties that reduce the inflammation. And I'm going, okay, eat the plants.
Yeah. Still,
Fish is good for you.
Yeah.
Beef is good for you. Chicken is questionable. Pork is probably not. So eat the plants.
yeah.
And you fix the whole problem.
Eat more of them.
Well, that's why I really want to go into the intricacies of all this,
Yeah.
because people make their decisions based on something that was sensational at the time.
Yeah.
And I think that you need to look at all the details. So you see I have more checks here. Mm-hmm. And I just want to hit those checks real quick.
Okay.
So let's see here. The erection study, flawed. Even the guy putting on the study said it was flawed. He said this is not a scientific study.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Maybe they watched porn before they went to bed.
It could. They didn't measure any other factor.
Or if they had sex earlier.
Yeah.
All of that.
Or if they beat it earlier in the day.
There's a million things I was thinking that could have affected that.
Even night 2, I heard this in a lot of the debunked things. Mm-hmm. Night 2, they could have just gotten more comfortable with it, and that could have just been general. Why don't you do the study the other way too?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you did the thing, and then you did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe skip a week, and then now night 1 you do a plant-based day, and night 2 you do a meat-based day.
And yet they should have done a placebo too, with like how fast people can run. Like this person thinks they're not eating meat.
Exactly. You should always have placebo-controlled studies.
If they think that they just happen to run faster because they thought they were going to.
Or got new shoes.
Yeah. Or got new shoes.
Yeah.
There's a million factors.
And the bodybuilder talking about testosterone and estrogen from milk. Yes, there is estrogen in milk. Like I said before, all these studies prove it because it comes from a cow's boobie. However, when a bodybuilder talks to me about testosterone, I'm like, hold up, dude. You inject that stuff, right? You do, Mr. Bodybuilder guy. There was the natural bodybuilder, and oddly enough, he didn't mention testosterone at all. He didn't talk about anything. They just showed him real quick. And then the obviously steroid injected bodybuilder, he was talking to me about testosterone. I'm like, dude, yes, you need to monitor your levels, but your levels aren't natural from food.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What about the 80-year-old guy in the movie?
I was just impressed by that.
So impressed.
I think that.
Did you talk about
Oh, I didn't. I was just like, yep, good job. Keep it up, dude.
Yeah. He's 80 and he was like ripped.
I had no bad things to say about that guy. Do your thing.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. I was like, that inspires me.
Yeah, absolutely.
All those pull-ups. I'm like, give me 5. I'll do Cool. Let's see here. We just jumped down to the gorilla comment, which was you see a gorilla will F you up in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. Same thing about the cows and the oxes. Like that's how they're designed. They take in the plants and then they turn the plants into muscles.
Yeah.
That's how they work. That's not how we work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can eat bamboo all day long. Bet you ain't gonna get stronger.
Yeah.
Fact. The livestock production, that's my biggest thing. I don't know which one of these I want to talk about. The studies for the contradictory studies or the livestock thing first, because I want one to be a big takeaway.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. They're the last 2. All right, let's go in order. So studies. There was a company called Exponent.
Yes.
You mentioned that earlier.
I did.
You mentioned studies contradicting each other.
Oh, yeah. Basically, the Exponent study, this company, right? They just basically lie to you and tell you exactly what you want to hear. So
yeah, they're a company that's paid to find the opposite evidence.
Yeah.
Even if the evidence is true, I wouldn't say that it's all lies.
Yeah.
I'd say it's just like a lawyer in court. Like they get a murderer off for murder.
Yeah.
Even though the murderer did the murder.
Yeah.
What they did was now confuse the jury and present so much evidence that says, yes, but you don't have the proof that you say you do.
Yeah.
Whether he did it or not. Same with these studies, which is, you saw the news clips? They were showing news clips through these things like, thank goodness, because I love eggs in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. That doesn't change the other study.
Yeah.
Like if there was something that says eggs have this carcinogen in it or whatever, I don't think there was one of those, but I'm just making stuff up. Then that's probably still true. Maybe look into that too. But Also, their studies are always, yeah, but. Just a bunch of frogs, yeah, but.
Yeah, but. Yeah, but. I think it's just so funny that, like, with all the science and everything that we have, it's still like nobody knows what to eat.
That is exactly right.
You don't know. Like one day eggs are good for you. One day they're bad for you. One day you need to eat plant-based. One day you need to eat meat. It just keeps going back and forth, and it will drive you freaking crazy.
That is so true.
If you try. So I say, pick one that's right for you. Try them all. Whatever works for you, that's the one that your body adapts to the best, right?
And the one that works best is the one you're going to stick to. That's the bottom line behind all of it. If you like eating a bunch of plants, do it.
Go for it.
If you like eating keto and not eating carbohydrates at all, and you like having bacon and cheese, do it.
Yeah.
And if you like what I like, me personally, I like balance.
Time to stand.
Oh, it's time to stand. Oh, no. See last week's skit. If you haven't watched last week's comedy bit, then you must see it because Lindsay is a slave to her smartwatch.
Too much if I stand. Excuse me.
She's going to stand. Okay, gives me time to get political. Hold on. But pick the diet that is absolutely the best for you as an individual. That's the most important decision you can make. But one thing I would like to comment on that I wholeheartedly agree with all the vegan documentaries is livestock production and factory farming. Because I think that we could
another minute of stand time.
She did it. I think most of us can agree that the products of factory farming are terrible. They're terrible for the local environment. They're terrible. The effects of the animals are terrible for your body. And if we wanted to get Luke in here and he could argue the other point, we could do that someday. But This isn't a political podcast. And that is a strictly political agenda altogether, like whether we should or should not have factory farming. Because how fast the chicken grows. Yes, you get these big plump breasts from your chickens. But
they're chickens.
Sorry, they're breasts though. I'm a breast man.
You're juvenile.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. But factory farming, the products of that, the meat doesn't taste as good. Like over the years, most foods that have been mass produced in that way are just less juicy.
Yeah.
They're less flavorful and they're not even as tender.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. Like we switched, like normally we didn't go like organic or non-organic.
Yeah, I've seen
whatever.
like you have like the grass-fed.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but now we do, and it's like you definitely can taste a difference.
I do
like,
the same with beef.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And I think with all things, even like with plants and stuff, like you cost a lot more money. But like organic
then why is
bananas,
that? Politics.
Organic bananas taste like 20 times better than non-organic bananas.
Yeah, and I think the bottom line.
Apples and green beans.
Yeah, the bottom line behind all that is they're all getting the right nutrition, plants and animals. And that's a problem with just factory farming. And I realize we have 330 million people in America, I believe. Yeah. Smack me if I'm wrong, whatever. But
it was like
we have to feed these people. Yes, this is true. But if we were to... I mean, it would take generations to fix the problem. But if we started and didn't just have this failure mentality, we could. If we taught people to be a little bit more self-sufficient in some way, like one step at a time, which is the way that we do everything. And we'll rope this back into nutrition in just a second. But if we taught people to be more self-sufficient in everything, teach them how to grow something. Like maybe they're... Like we live in a small townish area. If there was a way to, some guy got passionate and he wanted to start a farm and raise a few cattle, have a local butcher again. Like that would be hard for like Poughkeepsie.
Well, so I mean, right around down the street from me is Uber Creek Farms.
Yeah,
And they have a farm stand and they have cows and everything, and you can just go there and buy all your vegetables. And there's even a like vegetable of the month club type thing. It's not like, oh, you got a vegetable, but it's like a farm share.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you don't use it, I can give it to you, and 1 month you can give it to me, or maybe I'm gonna get it for the vegetables and you're gonna get it for the meat, and like.
So this food is not going to waste,
and it's not
as they
going
grow
to
it.
waste, and it's all local, and you just go and you pick it up right from the farm.
Yeah, and those kinds of foods that are grown in smaller quantities like that are going to be more nutritiously dense, and they're going to taste better.
Yeah,
and it supports the local economy.
Yeah, and the thing is with it though, you know, like if you want green beans, it's like they might not have green beans this week.
Oh yeah,
You know, like-
that can get rough.
So it's like you have to eat zucchini.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
But that also keeps it kind of
But,
exciting
yeah.
in a way. But they're also a very small farm.
Very small. I mean, in Long Island, like where my mother-in-law lives, and I think why she's able to do that raw vegan diet so well is that she is nothing but farm stands. Like, you drive and there's literally like 20, like, and you can get your eggs from here and your strawberries from here and your
That would be so ideal.
But like that's how she lives.
Wow.
It's all
I didn't
farms.
know Long Island was that good.
Yeah, wine country, Long Island.
Oh, that makes sense. Money.
And then there's wine everywhere.
And then there's wine.
Yeah.
Vegan wine. What? that exists. I still don't understand it. Somebody tried to explain it to me once. I was like, huh? I don't understand. It's
That
grapes.
doesn't make sense.
It's grapes.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Oh, yeah, it exists. I promise.
Oh.
Okay. So the takeaway from this
Takeaway.
stuff, because we are running a little long, but I think that the people that are interested in this
Mm-hmm.
won't mind it being a little long this week. So yeah, factory farming just sucks on all levels,
Yeah.
and that is, I would argue that is the majority of the problem. That and just fast food, crappy diets,
Yeah.
packaged junk, processed food.
Yeah.
So when people convert to a plant-based diet, I would be willing to bet that the majority of people that do that came from an unhealthy diet overall. And there will be other people like athletes and whatnot, but even the football players were talking about that.
Well, so I plan on doing 70-30.
So it's not plant-based.
70% plant-based, 30% not. And that's because after I watched this, I read and like other articles and stuff. And it was like, you don't have to go completely plant-based, and for that reason, it might be like better for me in the long run. Like,
Because it's not extreme.
because it's not extreme. Like you can't do anything so extreme. That's why it doesn't work. You know. So it's like if I know, like, okay, on Mondays I can have my fish, and then maybe Wednesdays I'll have my chicken, and Fridays I'll have my beef. But other than that, like it's all plant based. I'm willing to give it a shot.
I would still say for you in particular, because we were working out this morning, you were talking about losing strength while you were marathon training.
Yeah. He's like, don't do it.
No. I just count your stinking protein.
Yeah,
Because
no,
that's
I will.
what went wrong with me. My protein levels were down, and the reason I ultimately decided to go back to meat was twofold. One of those reasons was that when I was trying to get my protein levels back up, I was starting to gravitate toward more processed foods and things that included a lot of chemicals, which is one of the arguments I have against what some vegans, well, most popular vegans are doing.
Okay.
When I say popular, I mean the ones that are following the trend. Because they're finding substitutes for everything. I'm like, dude, if you're going to eat plants.
Yeah.
Don't pretend to eat meat. And I'm giving it
Yeah.
away for our comedy bit this week. But at the same time, like if you're going to eat meat, eat meat. If you're going to not eat meat, like maybe eat a black bean burger.
Yes.
Because you can make that out of real plants still.
Stuff that you're doing. Yeah. So I haven't started this plant-based diet of mine because there's a lot of preparation that I have to do and a lot of like recipes and things that I want to Google because I do want to like make like a bunch of lentil soup.
Yeah.
And like, you know, freeze it or, you know, make a bunch of black bean burgers and freeze them. Or
some of the recipes that I was making are actually some of my favorite foods or favorite prepped foods, because there is so much flavor when you eat mostly plants, because it's diverse, it's fun, it's colorful.
I was gonna say colorful.
Yeah, and we don't get that on like the bodybuilder diet, which I tried my best to stay away from. But the other reason that I was going to it was because of when I was getting fat. Mm-hmm. I just needed a better way to count food. Yeah. And that's what worked for me. So what I would encourage anybody to do if they're planning on doing plant-based things as a certified fitness nutrition specialist, I got to make sure I say all the words.
Sounds better.
Yes. CFNS. I just don't like doing that. I like going all the way. Is to look for as many whole food sources as humanly possible. Mm-hmm. And I do not agree that you don't have to count your calories. I don't agree.
No, I would count my calories, mostly just to see how much protein and carbs and everything that I'm eating, because I want to keep it in my macros.
Yeah, and that's what's going to keep your body composition. Yeah. The last piece I'm going to say is if you were to transition and you notice that feel-good feeling, I have so much energy and vibrance and life is so great. My personal argument is that, and this is from the mind of Dizzy, not science or anything, just putting it out there for argument's sake. My personal opinion is that it's not the elimination of meat, but it is the inclusion of all the other plants. Yeah. Because you are eating such a diverse array of food versus rice, chicken, broccoli. Yeah. And that's where you're getting all this energy and health from. So if people are out there watching these documentaries like, oh man, but I want to get my protein, but I don't quite agree with this topic or that topic. One thing I would recommend is try to incorporate a bigger variety of plants into your diet. That would be my argument. Don't be so bland.
There you go.
All right, so you got to have some takeaways, because I did a lot of talking here today.
I think I already told you my takeaways.
The 70-30 thing.
70-30, don't eliminate anything. That's why diets don't work. Elimination diets, at least, don't work. And see what works best for you. Don't listen to the documentary just because you want to listen to the documentary because it's trendy to do so. Give it a try. We're not saying don't try it. We're not saying you have to eat protein, but check it out. See if it works. If you feel better on it, then maybe it's better for you. If you don't, start eating meat again.
Yeah, because once again, no ethical issues here.
Yeah. As long as you don't have ethical issues.
That's on you.
Like, I understand people that do have the ethical issues and they're like, I don't want to eat animals.
That's fine.
So then it's like, okay, you got to make it work for you then.
If you feel that way, then look, we will be a resource for you if you want, because we are about balance.
Yeah. So, those are my takeaways.
Sweet. All right. Shoot, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening this week. This has been a longer one, but I hope it was informative. And I think the more we do our comedy, the more information we can incorporate into these, because we want to provide a balanced approach to that as well for you, the viewer/the listener. And if you are a listener, where could they view us, Lindsay Ann? On the internets. On
YouTube.
Yeah.
And you do it.
She doesn't know how to do URLs yet. It's youtube.com/mostly fit.
I was going to do mostly fit /youtube.com.
Yeah, that's not how that works at all. Wow. We gotta take you back to internet school.
I knew it, and then I forgot it.
All right, but the handles.
Then we're on Instagram at mostly.fit, on Facebook at mostlyfit, TikTok at mostly.fit, and our website, mostly-fit.com.
And this book, the complete guide to being fit,
mostly,
can be found on Amazon. We can't sell it through the website just yet because we don't have a stockpile of these, but when we do, we're going to do that. For other things like merchandise, and if you need a specific coaching plan, because you might be thinking about a plant-based diet, but you don't know how to do this whole counting thing, or you want to learn the right workouts, You can also find that at mostly-fit.com.
Yeah.
I think that's all the information.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm Dizzy.
And I'm Lindsay.
And thank you for listening and watching. And until next time, we'll see you next time.
Bye.